Okay, people. So it's been 30 years. 30 years since Beverly Hills Cop 3. Crazy, right? And yeah, we just got the sequel. Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. It is directed by Mark O'Malley, written by Kevin Etten, Tom Gormican, and Will Bell. Man, this film, it is produced by Chad Oman, Eddie Murphy, and Jerry Bruckheimer. It is executive produced by Ray Angelic, Lorenzo de Bonaventura, Charisse M. Hewitt, and Melissa Reed. Associate produced by John K. Campbell. Lorna Balfe took care of the music. Eduard Guru was on cinematography. Dan Lebental edits the piece. Lindsey Graham and Mary Vernew, they were on the casting. Right, production design is Jamin Assa. Art direction, Justin Allen and Robert W. Joseph. Jennifer Lukehart was set decoration. Costume design, Michelle Martini and Nancy Steiner. Right, so our cast, who was up in this new joint? Well, Eddie Murphy, obviously, he's back as Axel Foley. And did you know Axel has a daughter, Jane Saunders, right, played by Taylor Page. We have got Paul Reiser back as Jeffrey Friedman. You know, we got John Ashton as John Taggart. Judd Reinhold as Billy Rosewood. You know what I mean? And Bronson Pinochet as Serge. They're all back. We also have Captain Grant, played by Kevin Bacon. Detective Bobby Abbott, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. You know what I mean? There is James Preston Rogers as Kurtz. We've got Patricia Belcher as Judge Angelic. There is Susan Ford as Felicity. Sarah Abrell as Maureen. Who else do we have? Dr. Asa, played by Eugene Kim. Right, Christopher Matthew Cook, Alex Anganastites. Who else? Mikey Cassidy, Michael Camp. Right, they are all Gloria Goldman. Aaron Nelson, Walter Blenky, Michael Mills. Yeah, they're all cops, right? Who else do we have? Boy. Alina Vanska is a reporter. Raquel Bell is an EMT. Evan Shafran is a paramedic. Wayne Riggin is a firefighter. Natalie Ford, hotel clerk. Vivian Deo is a nurse. Alex Wexo is a sheriff. Kyle S. Moore is Mikey Wood. Damian Diaz is Sam Enrico. Joseph Avel is Sylvia. Chantel Nako is our meter maid, right? That's probably that's probably it, right? There's a load of people up in this one, you know what I mean? The gist is this: Axel Foley returns to Beverly Hills after his daughter's life is threatened. He teams up with old pals John Taggart and Billy Rosewood to get to the bottom of this new conspiracy. So, yeah. Now, as I said, look, it's been 30 frigging years, right? Beverly Hills Cop 3 came out in 94. 94. And you kind of would have felt that was it, right? Because that film stunk. That film was so bad. I like Tony Scott's Beverly Hills Cop 2. I thought Beverly Hills Cop 2 was fun, right? There's definitely some retread, but it still worked. It was still fun, you know? And after, some of Murphy's recent joints, I think it's fair to say that there was some trepidation going into this, right? That you're just like, oh, is this really going to be any good? Is it? Because we have seen what Murphy can do, right? We know he is a killer, right? When he's given the right material, he shines, right? I remember there was some really good stand-up that came out, right? And then we saw Dolomite Is My Name, and that, man, that gave me so much hope because he was great in that. Then we got Coming to America, right? You People, Candy Cane Lane, and I was like, oh no, what's happening? What's going down? Right? And I'll say, I wasn't sure what to think of this one. It opens up, right? We've got the music. They try and revamp it a little bit, but you still hear that music. Dum 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 ba dum 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 dum. And you're just like, you want to smile, right? You want to smile. And Murphy's driving and he's going past all of these people, you know? And there's just this, I don't know, there's something about it, right? There's this big thing at the hockey game, which it's stupid, right? It's stupid, but it's fun. It's still kind of fun. Like, there's those questions like, how the fuck do you know this? You know what I mean? And how is a snow plow gonna keep up with, you know what I mean? But it's fun. It's fun. So we see that. Then we see a situation with his daughter, We don't. I don't think we know it's his daughter at first. You kind of figure it out, right? But we have this incident, so it kind of gives us this lay of the land, you know. And you're like, okay, okay, let's go. Let's see where this goes, baby. And then, ah, and then I don't know, man. Like it runs into that Highlander 3 ground, right? Where they're trying so hard to hit those great moments from previous films, right? The first film. Try and hit those moments that work really well, you know? But it's just like, I mean, we've seen this. Like, we know what we're doing, you know? Like, when you throw in this kind of love story as well, that's super forced, right? Super. And I think there's this moment when we see these two characters together, and you're just like, don't, I hope they don't do this thing. And then you just get a hold on, did you? And you're just like, ah, fuck. They've gotta done that thing. Like, why? There's no need. There's no need. We also, another played out theme is the absent father, right? Just that, oh, fractious relationship between dad and daughter, right? And then another character's like, I didn't get on with my dad as well. We had a similar situation. And you're just like, I mean, we could show something else, right? We could show something else. There are other reasons why, you know, like the daughter's in one place and the dad's somewhere else, right? They could have a great relationship. She went away for work, right? You can be like, him and his wife were just like, we wish you took the job close by, but we get it. You know what I mean? He doesn't like flying. Like, there's other reasons why, but we don't always have to be like, you were absent, you disappeared, right? There's why he disappeared. You know, like that was never answered. That was never answered. It's just like you know what I mean? You create a situation where you're just like, they haven't spoken because of this. And it gets resolved so quickly and easily. You know what I mean? And obviously you might go, oh, but it took until the end of the film. But it's just like, yeah, but that's not a long time. Right? That supposedly all of this goes down in a few days. Right? A couple of days, all of this went down. So you're saying that all of these years of animosity gets resolved in 2 days and there's no real big conversation around it. Come on now. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? You know, there's that. I tell you one thing that really jumps out watching this film. It's the extent of plastic surgery. Oh my God. Right? So many of these dudes be getting plastic, you know what I mean? Their facelifts and everything. Like, and it looks great. Like, no one looks better. You know what I mean? With that tight ass face. No one looks better. It's crazy. It is so crazy. But yeah, you got all these old dudes trying to look young and not really selling us on these situations, on these relationships, right? It's just not really happening. This is the feature directorial debut from Malloy, Mark Malloy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry, Mark. Not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah, this is his feature directorial debut, which is tough, right? That's a tough one, you know, because you're gonna be judged against those other films, right? To take on a big franchise as your first feature, you're being judged. You know what I mean? Everything you do, people are gonna be like, "Ugh." I mean, and there are just so many, homages, paying lip service, like straight copies from the first film, right? Trying to capture all of this. So it's fine. The direction is fine. But I think for something like this, you need more than fine, right? The script, I mean, if this had come out in the 80s, I think it probably would have been like, yeah, this is great. Coming out now doesn't really work. The script doesn't like there's too many things that were so forced, right? Surge, that whole sequence, it's kind of ridiculous, right? The female realtor, realtor, yeah, realtor. I feel that's what you call them, right? That whole thing. I don't know what the fuck that was. It was just weird. We didn't need it. We didn't need that sequence, right? And there's just loads of those things, you know, like the helicopter situation didn't need to go on as long as it went on, right? There's just so many of those were in this where you're just like, wow, I mean, why? What is this bringing to the film? The film isn't just under 2 hours. Film could have cut out half an hour easy. And even then, it's probably a bit baggy, right? I think that's the big thing with this. There's just like, there was, a load tried to pack in here, right? I mean, as I said, to just capture Beverly Hills Cop 1, but it's just not needed. Just the whole kind of concept of the film. You're just like, I mean, when you look at the evidence, you're just like, I mean, how was anyone not believing Billy? Right? That's what people like. Wait, how was no one believing Billy? How is any of this standing up? Right? It is just kind of odd. It's kind of odd. And when you've got all of these old dudes, you're just like, it doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite work like it did back in the day. Right? To do make this, you have to go with something like Nobody. When you look at Nobody, Bill Oldenkirk is Bill, isn't it? I think it's Bill. Like, that worked, but we know he's an old dude. You know what I mean? But it wasn't doing anything too crazy where you're just like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. Right. And that's the approach that is needed, but that's not what happens. So I think this started with some promise, but it just kind of flounders even after that. And at the end, right, a few days later, why do we need that tag? Right? What does that give us? It does nothing. The only thing about that is kind of like, oh, are they being like, oh, and we could have more. There could be a fifth film. I don't know. I don't know. I hope we do not. I hope there is not a fifth film. Because although this is better than Coming to America, right? The sequel, it's better than that. Definitely. That's not saying a lot. right? That's not saying a lot. It's probably slightly better than You People. Again, not saying a lot, but it doesn't come anywhere near, right? Dolomite is my name, or just the old great films from Murphy. It doesn't do that, and it's not. I've to this day, Top Gun Maverick is the best. It's the best film to kind of keep an old 80s classic alive. It's the best one. Like, it's the only one that is able to capture that magic. This doesn't capture the magic of the first, the second. Yeah, it might be closer to the third. You know what I mean? And that's not magic that you want, right? That's like when the tiger bit Siegfried and Roy. You're just like, ah, shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if you enjoyed You People, if you enjoyed the Coming to America sequel, then you'll like this. This will work. If Beverly Hills Cop 3 is your favorite of the franchise, then Axel F, boom, you're gonna love it. You know what I mean? But yeah, you have to understand the things that drive you, the things that make you smile, right? That's the big thing playing into this. So have that thought, right? And if you think, you know what, I'm going to do it, it's on Netflix. So, Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F. It's my thoughts, baby. What do you think?